welcome back to another episode of Harvester. I'm your host, Euclidean Mind, and I am joined once again with my co-host, Boo.
Hello.
Hello. Alright, so last time we talked to her. So, I think we got all the information out as we could. So we know some weird stuff's going on with Lodge, and we want to kind of avoid it for right now.
The Lodge is the breakfast club.
Most definitely.
Cue 80s sitcom laughter. Seinfeld music.
Went to the Potsdam residence. Been to the abandoned house. We're gonna go to the Johnson residence. Just so I don't die, we're gonna save. Trust nobody. Mr. Johnson erected an impenetrable fortress to protect his truck during the night. Okay?
Is Tucker.
His Tucker during the night. Yeah, it sounds weird. I can't read. Remember that. Here's Tucker. During the day, Mr. Johnson keeps watch over his precious 48 Tucker. Anything else to view? Manhole cover. The manhole cover is locked in place. A nasty stench drifts up from the sewers below.
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
All right? You should be ecstatic, considering what you're getting into, if you haven't gotten into it already. Speaking of which, I heard Stephanie was grounded. Her daddy's worried about getting his meat. So if I were him, I'd be more concerned about Stephanie getting some meat.
Right. And you are?
You always were a kidder, Steve. I'm Mr. Johnson, remember? Glad you stopped by. Just got finished waxing the Tucker. I could use a little relaxation. But since Edna's not here, I might as well talk to you.
All around bad vibes. So we'll ask about Tucker and Stephanie next.
Always talking about the meat.
Edna Fitzpatrick
This game's
is
full
one
of
of the
sexual
sweetest
innuendo.
women in town.
Mm-hmm.
I declare there isn't a woman in Harvest that turned me away. If I was interested, that is. Just because she owns DNAs, she's got all these highfalutin ideas about independence. And her with a little girl to raise. That child needs a father. And Edna, well, she needs a good hard penis.
What?
What the hell?
Alright, we'll ask about...
This is where we end the stream right now. You know, just saw the word talk about penis. Okay. Oh, you can ask him about penis.
Child should not be an option up there right now.
Okay, is this getting some pedophilic undertones?
I hope not.
I really don't want this to turn into a kind of game for our viewers to just turn away from.
I'll admit DNA's done it does good business. But money isn't everything to a woman. Can money keep you warm at night? Can you wrap your thighs around it? Or rake bloody gashes in its back with your painted Holland fingernails? Edna! Edna! So, how's Stephanie?
This guy's got issues.
Speaking of Stephanie, I still haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding yet.
And you
I
still
don't
won't.
have anything to do with that.
That's okay. Personally, I'd prefer a pass to the
I like how
honeymoon.
as soon as he starts talking about
You could
Stephanie,
use
his
the
eyes are
back seat of my
pulsing.
Tucker for the maiden voyage. It's plenty big. Believe you me. I'd drive you around. And I wouldn't look in the back seat. I guarantee it. Though if you'd like to come up front and take the wheel a while, I wouldn't say nay.
Okay, so maybe there is tones of pedophilia with this guy.
Oh god. It's
Talking
so
about getting
creepy.
in his Tucker with Stephanie and me. It's, no, thank you. No, we already talked about Stephanie. Did we talk about Tucker?
Heck of an automobile,
Now,
isn't she?
viewers, we did
Damn
not
shame
know what
I
we
have
were
to
getting
sit out
into
here
when
and
we
watch
got this
over
game.
her all the
So
time.
please
But if I didn't,
mind that the
the
fact that
stupid
we
kids
thought this
might
was a horror
scratch her up
game. This is
playing
getting to
ball.
completely different tones.
Yeah, so we can take a look at his
Don't
car.
see why not. But don't touch her. I'm mighty particular about my Tucker. I had the garage remodeled like a fortress, so I could lock her up at night and get some sleep.
I'm sure she's safe enough inside.
A few months back, someone broke into my house, trying to get into the garage. I had to gripe like hell before the sheriff agreed to start the evening patrols and instigate the curfew.
Okay, we'll ask about a child.
Karen's only 5 years old. Since Mr. Fitzpatrick passed away, in Edna's arms and legs, I might add, Edna's been raising Karen on her own. What a shame. To deprive a little girl of a positive male role model, and her mama of a fine, stiff penis.
Oh my god. Alright. Let's go ahead. We're clicking it. We're continuing.
Oh god. Yeah, okay.
What
fine.
makes you so sure she needs a penis?
You saying Edna's getting it from someone else? Like maybe that damn Sheriff Dwayne? He's over at DNA's diner every day from noon to 1, eating his dadgum pie. And I got a feeling he'd like Edna for dessert. Sure, it's the only diner in town. Well, I'm sure he's got more on his mind than food.
Yes, well, Edna's
I'll
diner.
admit DNA's diner does good business.
Okay. I'm really done talking with Mr.
Bye
Penis.
I kind of. Am I the only one having the impression that I just want this guy to just eat a loud bullet?
Nope. Hold on, can we go inside his house? I know we don't want to. Okay. Cemetery or Shady Oaks Mortuary? Which one first?
Let's go to the mortuary. So I can tell us. Oh, look at that. There's the symbol.
Hideous symbol that stands out like a swastika or a flattened spider. A large translucent window.
This
A professionally kept landscape.
looks like a really weird mortuary.
I always save. An empty coat tree. These votive candles have been lit by many well-wishers for the dead, or one well-wisher with a lot of matches. A pair of comfortable-looking sofas. Ledger. Those dear to us who have passed recently, Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe. Oh, we took a ledger.
Thing tells me you probably should write that name down.
Oh, that didn't
man.
work.
What was his name?
Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe.
Okay.
Just to make sure that ever comes back up.
Got it. Schedule. Schedule of this week's funerary event. Funerary events. Elocution lessons.
Don't worry, I have trouble with that. What the hell?
You are extra dapper for a morgue seminar.
Is he? Oh my gosh, is he the guy from Scary Movie 3? The butler with the
Who
creepy
knows?
hand? I stirred the pasta with my hand.
Nasty. A disembodied organ which was never meant to pump formaldehyde. Glue. On the counter sits a new tube of astroglue.
You can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work.
Oh my gosh,
And
he looks
may I
like
say
Andrew
you're a rude young
WK.
man for attempting to steal it.
I was
He
only
wants
gonna
the party,
borrow it.
party,
Hold on.
party.
Indeed.
Always.
And have you anything I could hold as security?
Security. Like what? Money?
I'm afraid that's not good enough. I need that glue for my work. You must present me with something significant if you'd have me part with it.
Sink. Very nasty looking sink. I would have to say. Stains. Oops, he spilled. Jars. These are organic things, floating in formaldehyde in these jars. The sort of things that make you want to look away before you can really see what they are. But your eyes won't oblige. The fan's whirring blades barely stirred the stench-laden air. Temperature gauge. The needle lies on 33 degrees Fahrenheit. The messy remains of some poor soul. Probably Mr. Rhinecliffe.
Moynihan.
Oh, this is Moynihan.
Stephen,
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Besides, as one who deals with the dead, I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking about?
My complaints were central to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses.
Order of the Harvest Moon. Bake sale. Losses. Dead.
As always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the Lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
Needs. Such as...
Pardon me, there are corpses to prepare, and my losses have been substantial of late. If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the Lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, The lodge is the most prominent, literally and figuratively. It is the ambition of everyone here to join, and join you must to attain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
If I knew, I'd be a member. I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen. We all believe that. Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you. It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them. As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting.
Were the guys who dropped dead staying at your hotel? That's a good question.
I really don't recall. We get so many low-life dregs passing through here, I can't remember every little death that occurs.
Huh. Are there that many?
As I said, sliced open on a mortician's slab, every corpse looks the same. Red and juicy.
But surely you'd remember if these deaths were an unusual occurrence.
You sound like you're launching some sort of investigation, Stephen. That would be most unwise.
Ask
It seems that, like
yeah, we asked.
God,
So I'm gonna ask about the bake sale.
this bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Not shelters, graves. You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through. Don't ask me why, it's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses?
So we want to ask about the dead. Not sure if we did or not.
Yes, I prepare them. I use this astro glue to close my autopsy incision rather than sutures. It's much faster, more efficient. Of course, it only holds for a short while, but once they're in the ground, who cares if they split open? They will anyway. The pressure of the gases and the worms pressing outward, rupturing the cavity open. So why bother with fancy needlework?
A cold-blooded approach.
But what of my losses? Do you realize if it weren't for the efforts of the Order of the Harvest Moon, the bake sale and so forth, even with the Wayward Hotel, I'd be hard-pressed to stay in business?
You know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's ask him about penis.
You're spouting gibberish.
I sure am. Thank you and goodbye. I appreciate that you had no opinion on penis.
I'm
I'd say
sick
it's
of
been a
Piggy Hill.
pleasure, but I find the company of the living
Have
so
penis.
wearisome.
A pair of bloody handprints are smeared across the glass window. Go figure.
Okay, so we found the town's murderer.
Or one of them. Meat.
Let's go inside the mortuary to see what else there is. Wow, this is pretty fucking creepy.
The light from this candelabra gleams unwholesomely pink, like the eyes of a horde of rats, balancing on thin wires.
Oh.
Okay.
Colts. Yes, Colts.
A saint kneels before a shepherd, jubilantly terrified. Okay. Candles. A brass candelabra holds several strange smelling candles. Flesh, maybe? Pew. The imprint of a head, buttocks, and sliding heels are scraped into thick dust of the pew. Okay. Someone was going missionary. Examine lectern. A small lectern for a priest. A small priest? Window. A hauntingly beautiful stained glass window in which a man holds a scythe in one hand and some ethereal power in the other. Casket. An empty vessel of the dead.
This is pretty creepy. That's blood.
No, it's light coming in through the window.
Looks
And
like
we're
something.
leaving. A quick save. I know people are probably getting sick of this, but I've played enough adventure games to where it doesn't hurt.
This place is like death.
Alright, quick.
Graveyard.
Alright. So we're gonna pop over to the graveyard. Did we go to the right place?
That's a court place. Cemetery.
So the graveyard overlooks the lodge. You know what? Just for the heck of it, we're gonna save here.
I'm just wondering how much more time are you willing to spend here?
It's probably gonna be it for right now. Okay.
Right now?
It's gonna be it for right now. Alright. Thanks everyone for joining and viewing. This has been Euclidean Mind. I'm joined by Boo.
Hello.
We will be catching you on the next episode of Harvester. So tune in next time. Alright. Thank you. And bye-bye. Say bye, Boo.